Hi everyone. How you doing? I don't know where everyone else is. Looks like it's just you and me. How you doing? How's your guys' day been? There we go.
Welcome to Dork Court. How mean. I just wanted to see what you would do. You're like, oh, hey, everybody.
I got I never really get to have a one-on-one talks with the chat. I think it's good to catch up, have some nice one-on-one time together. I haven't seen them in a while.
Like Chuck. Hey, Chuck. Yeah, man. So old Chuck had some surgery. I told you that. Remember I said our buddy hooked us up with the 1966 Batman stuff before it was a legit way to do so, entertainment that you could consume and enjoy. So Chuck's been in the hospital, and we've been making sure he's okay. Good to see you, Chuck. Hey, look, it's Mr. Steve.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Hey, Steve.
Mighty fine.
Sorry I was late.
I see you didn't get the costuming email.
Oh, well, I'm wearing my...
look at that. Oh, you're surfing stuff.
Yeah.
I love that jacket.
New patch.
Where are you on the patch on the sleeve thing?
I don't like it. What do you mean?
Well, you have 4 of them.
Yes.
I put 3 on my my white astronaut suit, and it seems like that's one too much.
Oh,
I think
yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, just my thinking is for astronauts, you should have the agency that's put you there, and then your mission.
Probably 2. Yeah,
and then maybe a flag or something on the other side.
So yeah, when I was younger, and I used to play soccer, like travel soccer, where you'd go like other states and all that stuff. The big thing you used to do is you'd trade patches with other teams that you played.
Yeah.
So like I'm sure my dad still has it. He don't throw anything. But I had like my old jacket like this, but then all the sleeves, the entire back were covered in all of those patches.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, that's awesome. Then you're up into like Bruce Dern and Silent Running.
Yeah. So my thought with this is just anytime I find a really cool vintage surf one, it's going to go on the jacket.
Oh, that's awesome. And it's not, I was trying to build the argument that it's totally jacket dependent, because it's not like you haven't seen that Cyberpunk one I did.
No, exactly. That one's amazing. I think I've contributed too as well, so that's even better.
I think you're fully responsible for half of those patches. Absolutely. You have a super good eye for interesting and weird vintage patches. I don't know.
You know what? You always see that stuff everywhere, and when it comes to like Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, I grab everything. And then the military ones are tough because I don't like to grab anything that could be like, I'm not no stolen valor for me. Yeah. So I'm like not grabbing like mission patches of like Vietnam stuff, because I think that's kind of like, unless it's like I try to avoid.
No, I totally understand that. Although every once in a while there's one that's so weird that I have to get it. Like, remember we were at Alameda, and there was like just a rocker patch, and it was like this long, and it just was one giant word full of 6 or 7 syllables.
Oh yeah.
It was like milspec.com.
Yes.
Look out.
Oh yes, that was a good one. And I think we looked that up. Yeah.
It was some kind of like Mid-Atlantic Command thing.
Yeah, stuff like that is cool. But there's a lot of like, I never buy them, but I see them a lot. Is like I see a lot of Vietnam patches of like the groups from Vietnam, like the Purple Foxes, or like some crazy like, guys. There's the thing with those. There's like 8 of those patches. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and the 8 guys that were in it are the ones that wore it, and someone's brother bought it at a garage sale, and it's like stuff like that. I'm always like, very cool to see. Something I would maybe like display, but I could never like wear.
Yeah, put it on I'm like you, except old weird family stuff. I just think it's really cool to honor those 8 people, right?
Sure.
So I'll get pics, like old weird pics, to put in my steampunk bathroom, and But there's this one letter that I had to get, and it was just written in broken English about this guy that was mad his friend wasn't donating his used clothes to him at Christmas time. And I was just like, man, and it's super formal, but still broken English. So it's like it's heartbreaking. You're like, man, I can kind of put myself in this guy's position. It's Christmas.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
But you're going for an aesthetic, like the that you're
not parading it around.
Right.
Look at this poor person that I saved his letter for posterity. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Right. See, I think the beauty of your steampunk bathroom is like I attribute it the same way as like my garage. It's like the only person that sees this is me.
Right.
So like I kind of like, with the exception of like, if I'm the gauge if it goes up or it gets displayed, no one else is. So like I'm not looking for like
yeah, I got you. It's not it's not a museum, so who cares what the audience thinks, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I just, when I drop dead, I tell, Lauren, just make sure you call, Larry and Mark, because there's a bunch of stuff
we're
in
still
here.
alive.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of stuff in here that the garage sale, the guy's going to offer you $1 for, and I can assure you it's worth more than at least $1.
Yeah, that happened when my dad went. I think we spoke a little about this, the old tools.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, oh, I'll take all this off your hands for $250. And my mother's like, that's great. And my brother-in-law was like, yeah, put a 0 on that. And the guy goes, okay. And my mom's like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I 100%.
Yeah. So, anyway.
So what's new in the I haven't been following anything in pop culture. What's new in the land of pop culture? Yeah, I see your outfit.
The thing with this is our cat Toodle's getting a little old and it's kind of like expressing her displeasure by peeing on everything. And then that's coming really close behind where like she's not really mad. I think she just didn't feel like getting up. And that's its own problem, right? We had a cat like that back in the day. So Walker has this cool I Am Knuff fleece that he got for Christmas and the whole Barbie thing. And he constantly says how warm and comfortable it is. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, man. And today he just left it. We've been running things a little loose because Mimi's been in Baltimore.
I was going to say, yeah, you're, yeah.
So he's, we're leaving, stuff on the floor and crap everywhere. And so I got up this morning and I take off my baseball hat, throw it on the kitchen table and put my wallet and keys in it. And that's like my little valet, right? When no one's around.
Sure.
And so I moved my wallet and keys last night. For some reason, I was doing something. But I left my hat there. And I get up this morning and get ready to leave. Got all my stuff. I pick up my hat, put it on my head. It's fucking soaking wet with cat pee.
Oh.
So I'm like, all right, great. So we dealt with that, whatever, went to school. But when I came back, I was a little cold. And I was like, oh, man, Toodle's going to pee on that thing.
Might as well.
Like, I'll solve 2 birds with 1 stone here and just put this on. It'll be warm. I caught my look in the mirror walking by Walker's bathroom, and I'm like, all right, this needs a little. This is just dumb. Needs a little Larry for me to really carry it on. So that's what the head stuff is about.
That's awesome.
I was telling Walker, I feel like Booga in Tank Girl, the big kangaroo guy.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm like the Sean Gunn on set, reference for the CG character they're going to put in later.
Did I see that for sale?
What? Booga?
Something from Tank Girl I saw for sale recently somewhere.
Lots of stuff comes up that's, it's just, I don't know. I don't want to disparage anybody, but like Tank Girl is kind of a buy their seats production.
Yeah.
So,
God, yeah. I mean, it's
like, hey, look, these are jeans from Tank Girl. It's like, really? Those aren't just jeans you pulled out of your garage. They look like the jeans from Tank Girl.
they very well could be. I'm trying to think of who. Yeah, I don't even know who directed that.
Anyway, the news, Steve.
Okay.
Silent Night, Violent Night #2 or whatever, the David Harbour Night. Santa Claus.
Did the David Harbour one, not the
Joel?
Not the
yeah, not that one. The David Harbour one, #2. They're in production.
Oh, okay.
And Nobody #2 as well.
Of course.
Yeah,
right,
well, you can't say in the old days that's of course, but Hollywood being what it is now, I was kind of like, man, I hope they make those drunken Santa Claus movies just every year.
well, I think that type of movie is now. I hate. I was talking about this with a coworker the other day about like how the way our political environment is, and I'm not going on a political speech because I don't give a shit about politics, but like the way our politics are, there is a lot of like angry man action movie right now where it's like, you did me wrong, I'm
know.
fighting back.
It's such a hardship to watch those. It's just
But if you are an actor in Hollywood right now and you do action movies, you better make sure you do one of those. Even if you're not an action star, you now do those. Hence, like Bob Odenkirk. Like it's almost like, and I get like there's like the, like the variations, like he worked for the government, and then there's like the beekeeper, which he worked for the, he did this, and it's like each one has this little like
he worked for the government, but secretly.
Yeah, exactly. So they all have these different things, but then you have like, okay, well, like then you have like Santa Claus. like, I mean, like, come on. And then we'll flip it on its head. Then there's the Joel Kinnaman one, which is, I think it's called the John Woo one, which it's also like, they're kind of all like, I think they're kind of all like, Death Wish now. I think it's kind of like everyone's making their own version of Death Wish, except they're not like, they don't necessarily kill the daughter and the, spoiler.
Yeah, there's always sort of been that genre of movie.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
The whole like, I'm pissed off and I can't take it anymore.
Sure.
But it does seem like there's a lot more of those going on now, to the point where, like, didn't Bobby Brown she has a deal with Netflix? Millie Bobby Brown?
Oh, it's a Damsel?
Damsel's like exactly one of those movies, except she's a damsel in distress. Right.
Yeah. There are a lot of them.
Kate Beckinsale did a really good one that was sort of like Girl Crank. She had to wear this like electrical vest that like kept zapping her, and she had to do something.
What was that called? I remember that.
I forget, but I watched it during the coronavirus lockdown, like in the middle of was it Jolt? Yeah, that makes sense. I watched it on my phone in the middle of the night because everybody was just so tired and played out, and I'm like, yeah, if I'm gonna die, I want to watch a Kate Beckinsale movie on my phone.
No, exactly. Yeah, there's that one. Yeah, there's a lot of that movie. There's actually a pretty good one that I think that always floats around on kind of a different, like a little tweak on it. There's the Salma Hayek one that she did, Everly. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's crazy action. It's kind of like a little bit insane. I can't remember who else is in that. I'm going to look it up real quick.
What's it called? Everly?
Everly.
Yeah.
2014. Action thriller centered on a woman who faces down assassins sent by her ex. It's kind of like, here's the pitch. Fighting back after 4 years as a Yakuza sex slave, a woman, Salma Hayek, matches wits and weaponry with a legion of killers who are out to collect the bounty on her head and her family.
And I've seen it once, you've seen it a million times.
Yeah, and it takes place in like a one floor of an apartment building.
That's awesome.
And it's pretty. It's a good movie. It's one of those ones where like every so often when I'm looking for something to watch and I'm like clicking through like 900 things, it's one of the ones that I keep in my list and I'm just like, oh, I'll watch that again just for the hell of it, because it's like, even though you know the ending, you're still like, oh, that's pretty cool. I kind of dug that scene. I don't know. It's a decent movie.
I like movies like that. Like, it sounds kind of like Salt, where they're like,
Salt's a good one. Yeah, totally.
I don't watch it a lot, but if it's on, I'll sit down and finish it up. I'm like, oh, I like this movie. It's good.
You know which one I do that to a lot? Hardcore Henry.
Oh yeah.
I actually like.
Remember that San Diego? They were across from us, and I was starting to get the shakes, man.
And maybe that's what it did. Maybe it was the 5 straight days of that trailer playing like 12 hours a day. But I will tell you this, man. That is a great action movie that I don't think anyone else has cracked that like visual representation of a movie.
here's the thing, man. Like, what's that German heavy metal band that those guys they did the video for?
Oh yeah,
Robert
where they're like,
Rammstein?
No, Walker might remember.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's like
But
where
it's
they're
like,
like,
hey, motherfucker, and they're
teleporting
jumping
and
around
stuff.
doing all that stuff. And then they did this movie called Hardcore Henry, and I love that conceit. They steal this gizmo, and it turns out to be like this portal weapon, but you don't really get that. So it's a cool excuse to change the you can't just do the whole like one shot for the stuff they're doing. So they do things where like, oh, I've teleported over here, and everybody gets a breather, and you can like do another long thing. But Hardcore Henry, man, I can't take that for 2 hours. I just can't.
You ready? Here's full circle. You know who directed Nobody?
Oh, the director of Hardcore Henry?
The director of Hardcore Henry.
Good. He obviously knows what he's doing.
Yes, he's
I'm just talking about the frenetic pace.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
First person. I'm not a video game guy, right?
Yeah.
So like, I don't like that.
Well, I think
first person shooter stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I think if I play a lot of games that look like that, so like watching a movie like that is completely like fine for my brain. Whereas if like I could totally see like, well, it's one of those things like within 3 minutes you're like, oh my God, I'm getting sick. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. You have described my experience.
Awesome.
That's that big 10-year difference, though. You know, I just found out like it was Price's birthday a couple days ago, and he turned 40, and I was like, "Holy fuck! You mean I've been 20 years older than you this whole time?" I'm sorry. Just thought he was, roughly our age. Oh.
I always have that. I always have that conundrum when it comes to age of people. Oh, yeah.
It's a cool little picture thing.
Yeah, would you just use an old frame, like a digital frame?
It's a digital frame, and it just plays AVIs.
So you just have the looped AVI. That's so cool.
Yeah, just have like about 15 or 16 different animations on it.
That's awesome.
And it has sounds. It's awesome. And then we put little bars on the outside to make it look like a prop. You can like grab it.
Grab it.
I kind of don't want to move it because it lives over in the corner, but I wanted to show that to you.
and I see the chest, the space chest.
That's from Chris Sagsag. That's not moving. That's a great place for that.
And I'm digging the shelves, man. It looks good.
Yeah, it's getting stuff up off I have like a little work area now that I used to have to like kick Walker out of his big table and go.
I love it.
I have to sit down and do something. Hey, speaking of that, Walker, before I go into the airlock plans.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll just do it because it's right here. We got this vinyl stuff to
What are you coating?
I'm putting a big piece of masonite and putting it on the back door so it looks like a little airlock over there. Like little sci-fi gizmos and stuff. Because the way we have, there's not electrical stuff on that wall because it's the garage. And so in order to run the 3D printer, we had to have cords in the way. And it just looked like nobody gave a shit. And so I'm like, there's really no way to do that cleanly and except Blade Runner it. And then like, hey, look, it's chunky technology on.
Yeah.
This is a regular wall, but look, this has got this thing on it. And it's fun. So I have steampunk bathroom and like weird atonal sci-fi doorway.
So where is the 3D printer then now?
It's kind of
above
right
left
there.
shoulder.
Still in that little corner area, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Agreed. It makes sense. Walker, you should tell about your t-shirt you're wearing. Show Mr. Steve that.
Best film, dopamine.
Oh, there you go. That was the film festival that you guys, your school hosted, right?
Yep.
He's an award-winning filmmaker. So
did you? I didn't know that there were T-shirts made. That's pretty sick. Or was it just? Did you make it post the winning of the
post winning.
There you go. That's
it has get a little closer because it has your name and the name of the film. And
yeah, no, dopamine. Yep.
Walker Young, director.
That's cool. Did anyone else get? Did you get one for your buddy who was the actor in it?
No.
Oh, nice.
This is mine.
Yeah, he didn't win Best Actor.
Oh well, then you. Yeah, that's true,
You know what? We should make one for Cade.
Kaz.
Oh, Kaz.
What was pretty solid in it?
Cade was in Escape.
Escape, right.
Wait, Dopamine's the girlfriend one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the Escape was the kid in the room.
Yes.
Okay, got it. You didn't submit them both. It was just the Dopamine.
No, it was just Dopamine.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. I'm just making sure I've seen all the movies. Okay.
I think you're up to date.
Yeah. I think so. I hope so. If there's anything else to watch, please let me know. Yeah.
Hey, Walker, tell Steve about
some stuff. We've got some stuff in the works. That wasn't the one I was gonna say because there's philosophy behind that one. But I have one called "Are You Cake?" So you know those shows where it's like you cut into stuff. Like, is it cake?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, one guy, he's kind of watching too much. Is it cake? So his friend comes over and he's like, I've been finding out things that are more cake than I realized. Like, my phone, that was cake. Like, I tried lighting this candle, that was cake. Like, I went out to go play some tennis. Nope, the ball was cake. Hey man, are you cake? And so it turns out there's this giant conspiracy where his friend is cake and he's slowly been turning him into cake. So he cuts off his hand and his hand is cake.
So everyone's cake. Well, don't
everyone's
put away
cake.
Don't give me the spoiler. I mean, I know it's not, an hour and 45 minutes, but
it's not the
destination.
Awesome. It's the journey to get there.
I like it. Well, let me know when I can watch it. That's what I always say. That's super cool. So is that going to be for another video not for like a film festival or anything?
Just for fun.
Nice. I love it. And what are these all digital? Do you do it all digital?
Yes.
Interesting. I wish I could find years ago in high school, me and my buddies, we used to do these, we called it porch vandals, where it was just my buddy Matt, my buddy Glenn. Hey, Mark, what's up?
Hey.
And he's gone. No. We used to do like these skits, and it was porch vandals, and it was just a bunch of us just sitting on a front stoop, fooling around.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but we did a bunch of them. Problem is, I think only my friend Matt has the tape of it, and it's a tape.
Yeah.
So I know it exists. I just
like Scotch tape or.
It was on Scotch tape, yeah. So it's even, the recording is very poor quality.
When I lived at Noe and 24th with Mimi, there was this giant like garage door, and somebody had spray painted "No parking day or night" on it. And one day my friend John Lee and we like pulled a couch up in front of it and like just interviewed people as they walked by. And as we were doing it, we kept saying like, people are going, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "We're doing a talk show. It's called No Parking Day or Night." And you want to be interviewed? And like some people would just keep walking and some people would sit and nothing would happen. And some people would show up and it'd be hilarious. And everybody though would like look around for the cameras and like, no, we're just bored, man.
Right.
That's actually a podcast right now. It's called A Podcast But Outside. And it's just two guys set up at a table and people walk by and they're like, "Hey, what do you do for a living? What's your deal?"
It's man on the street, right? It's the easiest thing in the world. Our spin was like there was never going to be any historical document produced of any kind.
Yeah, there is no camera.
It's like Troy and Abed in the morning.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly.
So wait, have you discussed what that screen is on the behind Larry is?
Sort of.
We haven't discussed what it is. We discussed how it's being done.
You know the little the side over by in my office door. It's just starting to collect wires and crap because of the 3D printer and the routers there and everything. So I tried to make this little area. I have a flashing yellow light that spins like an airlock warning opening, and I have all this junk that's like the SCC to aux switch is now my light switch, and the Apollo thing. It's the thing that saved Apollo 12.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. That. Yeah, see that. So I just moved it over so Steve could see it.
nice.
It's one of those digital frames that you put with pictures of dead dogs and film of your
Smart.
babies and stuff. Except it's just got a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff with clicks and whistles. And,
I forget they can run AVIs.
yeah.
I have
Those
such
picture
an
frames?
idea. Yeah.
So
I have
now
such a-
Steve is going to buy every digital picture frame he can find.
He's got an
everywhere.
alternate revenue stream.
I do not. I leave them every time I see them, but you could probably get those for like $2.
Yeah, I mean,
And they run off of micro SD or SD card. So yeah, I'm in. When I used to work in an office all the time, on my desk, I had a monitor, a small monitor, and I had a Raspberry Pi. I probably told you this, Walker, but I used to have a Raspberry Pi that had a bunch of movies like that I downloaded to like a flash drive, and it would just loop through movies all day. Like it would never stop looping through movies. So it would just, and I didn't have audio. So if I was at my desk working, I would just look over and I had this little screen that was constantly playing movies.
That's awesome.
And whatever movies I wanted to put in. So it was just constantly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's just a moving painting, right?
That's it. Yeah. Anyway.
All right, agreed. Motion carried. Next on the agenda. Yeah, Mark, we were talking a little about Violent Night #2 is in production, and Nobody #2 is in production, so that's cool. Steve was starting to make a point that he's like, there's going to be a lot of movies like that just because of the temperature of the world, basically. And I think it's even cooler than that, not so much thematically, but I think smaller movies are going to make a big deal because one of those directors during the Oscars was like, don't do $500 million movies. Do like, and then he does math really fast. I kind of lost exactly what he said because I was really impressed that he did it really quick.
Yeah,
he's like, don't do $500 million movies. Do $20 million movies.
Yeah.
So what are you saying about the climate right now of like what's happening? Why old men fighting back? Like, what do we have?
That's exactly. That's what I said. Exactly. I hate politics, so I will not talk politics. But there is this like big push of. It's not a push. And we were talking. These movies have existed forever. It's just that there is this like man fights back against something, and it's like even from a sense like Nobody. He worked for the government. Beekeeper. He indirectly worked for the government. Silent Night. He's Santa Claus fighting back, like, oh no, that's
he works
not
for Big
Night.
Christmas.
Yeah, that's not. Is that Silent Night?
No, Violent Night is
Night.
David Arbor as Santa. Silent Night is
the John Woo one.
It's the astronaut.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm very excited about that because Violent Night is the last movie that I got paper tickets for.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't I get him one for Dune too?
Oh, did you? I think you did. Never mind. It's Dune. Restart the clock. It's Dune 2.
I have Dune 2 and Guardians 3.
Okay, good.
Oh, right on.
Listen, I make sure I get a physical ticket.
Excellent.
I have
If you still have your big bucket barrel of
Oh yeah, man.
you probably have already said this, but what's the oldest ticket you have? Do you know off the top of your head?
I don't know which one's older. I have Above the Rim,
Awesome.
which is 94.
Oh man.
And I think I have Under Siege 2, which is 95. I have earlier than that. I think I have a 90. I used to actually, this is an interesting exercise. I used to have it on my Facebook page, and then I removed it because I was like, this is really dorky.
Yeah, you don't want to be perceived as being dorky in any way.
I 100%.
Yeah, right. That is the Ken Rabbit.
Yeah, well, this is pre-Dork Court, so that's all I want to. Do I still have the?
See, that's silly. I like that because Under Siege was on a boat. Under Siege 2 was on a train. But now there's that Coulter Jeremy Butler movie Plane. There's a sequel coming out with Coulter, and it's called Boat.
Boat?
Oh, that's awesome. The only way to do that.
All right, let me see. I'm going to see what I have. I think it's those two. I have it.
They should do one with Tom Holland called Go Kart. Yeah. What was I going to say? Something funny about that. And then you threw me off with Gerard Butler, who is such a manly man.
Are they actually doing a sequel? Or is
it's
it with Gerard Butler, or is it just?
I think he's going to be a cameo, but I think it's going to be mostly Coulter. Iron Man.
Ian Yarborough's high school friend, Mike Coulter.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they went to high school together.
Oh, I think I kind of recall that.
All right, let's see.
Don't look at it, Walter. Walker, close your eyes.
Marion, don't look at the arm. I have my oldest tickets are my 14 Star Wars stubs from 1977.
Okay, that's amazing.
Little half-torn paper tickets, like at a carnival. There's literally no proof that they're Star Wars tickets, except for the fact
that you know that they're Star Wars tickets.
I kept them in my Star Wars paperback. The Star Wars paperback that I thought was first edition for like 30 years, and it turns out it was a second edition. So I feel better because the first thing I did when I bought it was I showed my dad, look at all these pictures. This is that movie I'm going to all the time. And look, they got robots and stuff. And he went, oh, yeah, let me see that. And cracked his spine. And I was like of the age where I just like immediately thought my life was over. And then so for 30 years, I'm like, well, who gives a fuck? It's ruined. Not mint condition. And I'm like, oh, hey, it was second edition this whole time.
They just do it at the fireplace.
Nobody cared even when it was new.
That reminds me of you telling me that back in the day, the only way to do cosplay was just to see the movie 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And try to figure it out. I think that looks like this. Yeah. Which is wild to me.
Yeah, I remember when I did my Star Trek uniform for the next for Star Trek the Motion Picture, I like completely I had home ec class where we're doing shirts, right? So I had like a working knowledge of seams and selvage and how it all worked, but I didn't have any reference except for this picture from McCall's magazine. Do you know what McCall's is? Yeah, like a woman's kind of. It's like Cosmo without all the sex, like, and it was just like kind of home ec thing. But they had like this giant thing on Star Trek, and my mom's like, hey, this is that Star Trek thing you like. You want to check this out? It's just full of page after page of full color pictures of the uniforms. And I'm like, yes, this is mine. And so I did a weird thing. Because I hadn't seen the movie yet, I kind of did half the captain's uniform and half the admiral's uniform. Uh-oh, which one's that, Steve? We can't read it.
Tombstone, 93.
Ooh. That's great.
I forgot that I wrote dates on the back of them because I was like, I went through this exercise of like, I have a lot of old tickets. Man, I saw a lot of shitty movies. I'll tell you that.
So what a great one though with Kurt Russell. I was talking to EJ Fettis yesterday on his podcast, and we talked about the Expendables, and I didn't realize that that big scene with Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger, that was like their like 16th iteration of trying to get that scene together.
Oh, really?
They wanted to have two like big 80s powerhouses, and Arnold was kind of always involved, but he wanted to play the Bruce Willis part. And they were like, no, man, you got to do this other part. And so they asked Kurt Russell. He's like, yeah, I don't really do ensemble stuff anymore. And now,
except Tarantino asked me.
Yeah, like he needs the money, I guess, because now he's on Monarch. And
true,
I think that's just what they told him, right? Like, but can you imagine Kurt Russell in that scene? That would have been pretty cool. But I don't understand why it took them so long to get to Bruce Willis, because you have Sly and Arnold and Bruce who are all murders in Planet Hollywood. Like, that's what makes that scene.
Well, I was going to say, isn't when that all went down, they like hated one another at the end.
Yeah, but that's kind of makes the scene even funnier, right?
Because, I agree. Like, yeah, totally.
Arnold's kind of being a shithead to Bruce Willis.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and you're like, even if you don't know that, you're like, wow, that's a really interesting choice for a narrative. And you're like, no, there's something else going on there.
You've never seen Expendables, right, Mark?
No. No interest.
I love your disdain.
Oh, listen.
No.
Why would I watch that?
It's a total background noise movie. I attribute it's.
You guys are just too young. That's what it is.
Oh,
because like, if you're old and you see all of those crazy people in one movie together, it sort of blows your mind a little.
Oh my God! Just to think.
Oh
of
yeah, I mean, I appreciate the prestige of it all, but
yeah. See, you guys are just. I think the Expendables just isn't for you. They did what they could though because they put Jason Statham in it.
Listen.
Yeah.
I saw it
Terry
opening
Crews.
I saw it opening night. You're not gonna no shame in me.
No, I don't mean that. I just mean that like I would never have thought for a million years you two guys would just kind of not respond to it.
I think it's one of those things where I just decided to actively just put my die on this hill.
That was a movie that Mark wasn't seeing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like, I'm
it.
not seeing that movie.
I've decided. I see every friggin' movie there is. I'm not going to see this one.
Not
it
this
is, but it's
give me
2010, Mark, and Terry Crews is in it, so that's really interesting because he's not Terry Crews from 9/9 yet, and you're like, it doesn't really make sense that he's in an action movie besides the fact he's just a giant football player.
Right. The collection.
He's so funny.
The first one is the most interesting one because the hook is holy shit. They got Arnold to come do a cameo in this movie. Like, and I'm being serious because it's like it's Stallone, and it's also like Statham is huge at the time, so it's like it's like I'm Stallone, you're Statham, you're the next big action star, so we're the A and the B, and we're gonna round out the cast with a bunch of people. So the first one isn't the Jump the Shark version yet. The second one and then the third one is the true Jump the Shark one because each one you're just like it becomes the I have to have every action star in it. So then by the second one, you're like, you know,
is Chuck Norris in the second one? Because
I think Chuck Norris is in the second one. Where he just because the second one
just like randomly walks
in, and they're in like this random country in the middle of Europe that it makes no sense that they'd even be there, and all of a sudden, like Chuck Norris just walks in.
Those are the only two that I'd seen. I watched Expendables again, so EJ and I could talk about it. Yeah. But I have like
Chuck Norris, the shaved gorilla.
That dim memory of Chuck Norris and just enjoying it as an audience member because you're like, of course, but they shot it in this weird way. Like he was like doing a cigarette ad on the set over, and he just like, hey everybody, what's going on? And you're like, oh hey guy that we know from 80s movies. It's just like the weirdest scene ever.
I actually like the second one because I realized that's the Van Damme as the bad guy. That's a good one. Van Damme as a bad guy is solid. Oh, Mark, have you seen all these yet?
So
okay, wait, I got a story.
Yeah, go ahead and tell Mimi solve this.
So look, yesterday,
what do I got? Nothing. What do I got? Nothing.
Also, I don't know.
There's a reason
we didn't see. I don't think we did this one last week, but
is it Hearts?
What do you got?
No, this one.
There you go.
There you go.
A laser show. Isn't that cool? Yeah, put your thumbs in, Walker. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So yesterday, Daddy's on the phone on EJ's podcast, and so I'm sitting there. My pizza's cooking in the microwave. I'm painting miniatures, and
a fat blunt.
Yeah,
mommy's not home.
I got a fire going. I got a glass of wine. You know, I'm sitting there.
Couple of trailer park girls.
And I'm like, oh, I'll give.
Mark's all sad. You had that going on and you didn't call me.
I was petting my cat.
So I was like, okay, I'll FaceTime mommy. So I somehow get the thumbs up, and then that launches her into, whoa, you can do that, and she's trying to do it because she's on her computer and stuff, and so she wasn't getting them, and so she's figuring out like how to do it. And so eventually she got so mad she hung up and then like
Reinstalled
me, FaceTimed me on her iPad, which was a device that she knew had it, so that for the express purpose of being able to go like this and
give the
have
thumbs
stuff
up.
happen.
So basically, it doesn't work on desktops.
There's
wait,
yeah,
oh.
there's
Steve,
a
what are you
way.
doing it on?
I'm laptop.
Oh, I'm on a laptop.
There's
too.
a way, but it's weird.
You have
to like
toggle
activate it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
but not me.
I mean, I disabled it for both of you guys, but did I not
you
say that?
son of a toggle this.
Oh, right. The thumbs down
what's
was
the rain? What was
it?
that?
It's 2 thumbs down.
Double thumbs
Two
down.
thumbs down is like, oh, sad.
Yeah, that's Mark's opinion of Expendables.
The stuff I didn't like about Expendables is 100% because Sylvester Stallone doesn't know how to direct movies. But
Sylvester Stallone directed that?
yeah, so
Oh,
Walker, as a student of film, check this out.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of the movie. Oh, it's nighttime, and nothing happens. It's wet streets and neon. Okay, the whole thing is this crazy cliche, and then you're following a guy, and he's on a motorcycle, and isn't he cool? It's Jason Statham, but they don't reveal that yet. And he drives his motorcycle up into this like warehouse building, and they come really tight on him. You think he's gonna open up his visor, and you're gonna reveal who it is, but they like pan down to his gas tank where it says Expendables. And then they pan up or sort of try to do a match on form with the moon, but it doesn't work because the curve of the gas cap isn't matching up with the moon. And then they cut to another shot of the moon where it's further away, and you're like, what is happening? And they pan down. Okay, we're in Somalia now. And you're like, okay, wait, wasn't it just nighttime where in New Jersey off exit 7 where Jason Statham is? But it's also nighttime in Somalia. Like, what the fuck is happening? And then you see directed by Sylvester Stallone. You're like, oh, okay. I know to take all that part of my brain and just like let it go to sleep, because it's just going to be hot girls in trouble and Jason Statham not beating up people because he's playing the girlfriend role. Hey man, I know my worth. Like, oh, now that you got me talking about it, that movie sucks. It's not
my work here is done.
It's not the Jason Statham that needs to bite.
He's not Beekeeper.
Beat him up.
It's not quality like
that was good.
His remakes of The Mechanic or any of those.
Yeah. Hobb and Shaw.
Mark,
I actually love those movies.
Mark, did you see Dune 2 yet?
No.
Have you seen Steve's bucket?
Oh, have you seen Steve's hat?
Oh, I haven't worn my hat yet.
I said that I was so proud of you. I sent it to Mimi, and she's like, "Oh, that's a nice pic of Mark." And I was like, read the hat. And you're like, "Oh, it's probably just a Dune 2 crew gift, right?" Never mind.
Oh my God! You just blew my mind. That is normally what I do for everything, and I did not do that yet.
What?
Dune 2 crew gift?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know what the crew gift is.
Uh-oh.
Huh? It's a bag of sand.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It's a water bottle.
Yeah.
What is...
Don't
my friend Sean, the guy that did that cool first order gun for me for my birthday, and the Blade Runner, the 2049 gun. He did a one of those thumpers.
Oh, that's cool.
It's perfect. It is perfect. And obviously I'm not going to give him the $29,000 he deserves for his brilliance because we're going to Walker, when we get that 3D printer going again, we're going to do a thumper and put it in the backyard.
Okay. All right.
Take a picture.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Take a picture on the beach.
How do I add to that? How do I add an extra thumper to that 3D printing order?
2 buttons.
Yeah.
It's like one button. Like select, reprint.
No, just Steve wants to make. We need 3 more machines. Basically, that's what Steve.
Yeah.
We need machines that work, man.
Yeah, we kind of
Is a 3D printer.
Mimi kind of.
Every machine that we've had. Well, no, because this machine's good. Like people have it, it's reliable. Something about like our basement just like makes mechanics weird. I think it's like
The moisture?
probably
The ocean?
I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's just there always something seems to go wrong with the nozzle.
It's probably someone down there farting all the time.
What you mean the actual like what you mean what the filament goes through?
Yes. Yeah, there's just something that sticks with it. Oh, here we go. Here's the parts.
This is the current thing. So
Okay.
The current state of the thing.
this is the heating
The
bit,
heating
and
coil,
it's just
yep.
all plasticky and broken and stuff. And there's a bunch of parts. This is the main body. I can fix it. I just don't have the proper tools yet. I don't have the proper parts.
We we did that crazy, didn't we?
Filament. I mean,
We're working on the third. We just can't seem to get the correct part from Amazon. What's a filament dryer? That sounds like something we need.
filament
Is
dryer.
that like that must be like a humidor for the filaments, right?
I think because they're supposed to be pretty dry.
Oh, I'm totally doing that then.
I haven't
Oh,
I don't know what Walker's doing, but that sounds horrible.
yeah, I think they have to be pretty dry. So I think if there's any moisture on them, that could cause some of the problems.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah,
Spectre.
yeah.
All right, I did not know a filament dryer was a thing that existed or something that we needed to have, but that sounds like that'll help a lot.
I think
We'll
funny.
be
They
taking
all
notes
look
on
like
that.
they look like computers that were in 2001 Space Odyssey. They all look like turning dials and filaments and
Oh,
yeah,
that's
this is
actually
cool.
no. I was gonna say I think what you probably want to do is if you get like you could probably do this early on the cheap. If you got yourself like a plastic tub and just had a single line for the filament to pull out, and then you fill that tub with that what's the crap that they always put in electronics?
ketamine.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
that silicate stuff.
Yeah, if you put that in it, I think that'd probably do. Or
Mimi, of course, has a giant bag filled with
of those
little packets.
right. So I think if you kind of did a plastic tub, one filament you'd keep them stored it in that. Yeah, I think Sagasag's suggestion is probably.
This is great. Thanks, guys. That's I wanted to all make fun of you, but that's all very useful information.
Oh wait, Segasex here?
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to hold on. I want to thank him for my toe. I want to thank him for the Star Trek miniatures, the iconic villains. I have it on my.
All right, hold it up. Hold it up. I want to see how many I actually know. All right, no laughing from the Star Trek guys. So, that's a Borg, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that Q? Is Q the one with the robe?
That's Q.
I would think that looks like the evil Data. Is that like?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Lore?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a Klingon? I can't really tell.
Yes.
Borg Queen?
Wait, the Klingon is specifically Christopher Plummer from Star Trek 6, but
Okay. All right.
that's Klingons.
Is that the Borg Queen? I can't see.
Is that the Borg Queen, Walker? I can't.
Oh
tell.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yes. Jason Statham from Expendables. I can't see the.
Yes, it's Jason Statham from Expendables, but dressed as a Cardassian.
Okay. Oh, there's Khan and
yeah.
the Gorn. All right, Steve,
Hey,
that's incredible.
Come on.
Look at that.
Somebody
I don't even
doesn't
watch
like
Star
Star
Trek.
Trek.
I don't even watch Star Trek. I don't even.
That
know.
was incredible, man.
Wait, so what was the one guy I didn't get? What was his name?
Statham.
Chloe
the
Kardashian.
Kardashian. Just a random Kardashian.
Got it.
Keeping up
I'm
with
sure
the
it's supposed to be
Kardashians.
Gul Dukat or Gulmasset or one of the iconic ones, but you can't tell. And I want to really congratulate you because I didn't get that was supposed to be Lore, the evil Data. I was like, who is this guy?
I got it.
Just another random
I got
cyborg. And Walker's like, this door, you whore. And I'm like, hey, mommy's been gone. You don't have to talk to me like that. We're teasing. Gul. I don't even know who Gulmasset and Gul Dukat were my two favorite guys.
Wait, who's the one from Deep Space Nine? Is that the
Yeah, that was Gul Dukat. He was the one who was sort of like a bitchy administrator guy.
Yeah.
He was like felt like he was too good for this military shit, and was just always ordering people around all the goddamn time.
When did this turn into Dork Trek? No, I'm kidding.
Oh. Wait, okay.
Well, what it was it turned into me not giving Walker shit for not having written Chris Sagasaga actual thank you note yet. And he was smart enough to go, oh, Chris is here? Yes, I need to thank him. So at least I didn't have to tell you to thank Chris.
I could kill two birds with one stone.
Very strategic. Well done.
But yeah, Chris was he was very generous to us, wasn't he, man?
Yeah. It's
Walker, tell Chris you put that Stormtrooper helmet up in your shelf of heroes right. Oh, we're gonna get a walking tour. Wow, this is really
Excuse
just
me while I
I
vomit
can hear him
Exactly
above me.
Full circle. We were talking about Hardcore Henry in the beginning, and Larry can't watch it. So.
Yeah,
dude, that looks great.
Oh, look at that setup.
All of those helmets, except the old school Stormtrooper and the Spider-Man, Walker made all those helmets.
I see a Daredevil. I see two Red Hoods.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
What's between the Red Hoods?
Oh, it's a Lego
Red Hood minifigure.
Oh, there you
go. But man, Walker, show your 501st guy really close, because this one is really impressive. Me, like the weathering on that is just top shelf. Like if you saw that in a comic store and it had on a shelf for $400, you'd be like, yeah, that's about right.
The line, by the way, very, very happy with the blue stripe coming down because that was not measured. I eyeballed that.
He hand painted that. That's insane.
Hand taped it up. I did spray paint.
Well, you know what I mean. You got the curve with a tape. That's insane.
I can't do that anymore.
Yeah. I don't think I ever could have done that.
Nah.
Anyway, that's where all the magic happens, right?
Yeah.
While we're in there, show that your cool, like, Guardians stuff. I don't think Mark and Steve have seen that.
Oh.
Yeah, your Matt Cat and all that.
Oh, I've seen that. And your Arrow. Yep. I'm good.
Yeah.
And what is that Planet of the Apes Lego?
Oh, where?
What?
Oh yeah, no, off to the side, pal.
It's
It's from the movie. They did their little apocalypse with the Starbucks and all that.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, when Mimi went on a trip, Walker actually bought that with his own money, which all my friends.
That's where my $200 went. Thank you.
He was like, one of my friends was like, "What? We don't have room for that. And how did you afford that?" And I'm like, honestly, he bought that with his own money. So like, what am I gonna say? And I mean, like, oh, save it for college or whatever. No, man, like your mom's on a business trip for 10 days. Let's do this. And it took us like a week, didn't it?
It did. It was 17 bags. I finished. We started. So we went on a Wednesday.
I remember there was 9 bags that was just like the first floor.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
It was 17 bags. I remember that. So I did like 2 bags every day, and I finished it the morning after Mommy got back.
I wasn't even allowed to help. I would open the bags and sort everything by color and shape. And so that's not necessarily true. You were giving 2 bags to do during the day.
Yeah.
Is that true? I did help out with certain bags.
I was like, okay, I have swimming on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I won't have time afterwards. So if you want to do a bag or maybe a bag and a half, and then I finish it up.
Well, obviously we defer to you on this because your memory is insane.
I remember we got it on a Wednesday because we went to Dave & Buster's, and Dave & Buster's has half-price games, and that's the only time we go to Dave & Buster's is on Wednesdays.
Half-price games? What do you mean? The arcade machines are half-price?
They
you
fill up your power card and then
6 tokens, it'll be 3, and that's all.
Yeah.
Wow, I never even knew that. That is good to know. I haven't been to Dave & Buster's in a while, but
twice as long.
I just assumed that was the day Solomon Grundy was married, so that's how you knew it was a Wednesday.
Because we all went to Dave and Buster's afterwards.
Man, you have a lot of those cards from Injustice and
I have a binder full.
what was the Marvel game?
Marvel Contest of Champions.
Contest of Champions. Stephen Grant gets a penny or something every time somebody plays that game.
He loves it. That and when Tubi adds 2 guns to the welcome screen.
That was so funny. It wasn't Tubi, it was Netflix. Is that
Was it Netflix?
Yeah, that day he wanted to try to game the system, and it was like #1 in the country for like 3 days, because 100 people can just like turn it on, and that messes with their algorithm because it's not what they're expecting, right?
Right.
I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, I was reading the other day that the movie Noah on Netflix, jumped back into the top 10 because there's an artist that's currently very popular being played on the radio called Noah Kahan.
Oh.
Okay.
And people are going into Netflix to find like music associated with it.
Yeah,
and instead they're typing in Noah and they think it's a concert, and they're starting the movie Noah.
Right, that's awesome.
Yeah, like
Gerard Butler.
I'm looking forward to Larry David doing something cool then.
But how nuts is stuff like that? That's the stuff that always makes me pretty fascinated. Oh, did I share the Marvel stuff that I found recently?
Wait, in what way? What thing?
Which movie was having the Serpent Society in it? Is that Cap 4?
It was, yes. Wait, yeah.
So they're
first it was like New World Order, and they changed that.
Everything, they cut out all the villains.
Yeah,
like the leader is the bad guy.
Did
you hear any? No one. That is all news to everybody. All right, I'll find the article. Well, I'll find if I can find the post. I'll find what was said, and it was essentially that like the new Captain America 4, like the entire movie has been scrapped, and like they're changing the villains, they're changing everything, and then they're trying. Now the big push is everyone that is under contract with Marvel, they're speeding forward to get something out in the world of the people that are under contract. So like instead of looking for net new actor for things,
right?
They're speeding up everything where a person,
that's not a great sign, man. Because that's just the company, using the resources they have available and not planning for the future.
Yeah. So,
look, we all know DC is going to take over.
I don't know. You know what? I think it's all going to collapse. Honestly, I think that with all the strikes and everything, there's no way to make 200 million movies.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
No, I think the present thing is going to collapse, but something cool will come in.
Yeah,
from the ashes.
Yeah,
there's always an evolution.
Somebody will option Jack Fry, and then Clive Owen gets hired, and Walker Young dies rich.
Well, I was
happen, just not in the same way. That's
I was just reading like everyone was killing the Star Wars stuff that they bought. They bought Star Wars for $4 billion, and it's made $12 billion back to them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like it's the same premise with Marvel. They bought Marvel. They've already made their money hand over fist. Yeah. Now it's just an IP that they own. And I think you're right on it, Larry. Like I think like the idea that someone's going to allow them to make like a $500 million Avengers movie is probably not the case anymore. But I don't know.
All I have to say is it's not going away because there are Marvel Disney theme parks now.
Oh, 100%.
So like I wouldn't worry about that, Walker.
Secret War is going to
be presented differently. That's all.
Yeah, Secret War will dismantle everything and then rebuild it out.
Yeah, the end of Secret War, they're just gonna if Feige's smart, which we know he is. 6 months later, it's gonna be like
here's the cast,
thing.
Right?
Here's the whole new Marvel universe.
Yeah, and they won't even make you wait a year. It's just here it is, and you could already buy the shirts. And you know what? Honestly, the last movie didn't do that great because everybody's waiting for the next one.
Yeah, and that's what the Secret War comic book, the new Secret War comic book did. It like dismantled all the comic book universes and then rebuilt them into one coherent one. They brought Miles Morales over from the Ultimate Universe, and then they just moved forward with the new MC.
So that's awesome because I cannot wait to see Kazar and the X-Men fighting Miles Morales and Alpha Flight in the Savage Land.
Right.
Like it's just everything now, right? It's
When's
everything.
Conan coming? When's Conan coming?
Right.
I know he's in the Savage Land, so.
What I love about
Marvel
that
owns
is
him.
that like that Conan could do worse than let Disney have it for Marvel and just put Conan in the Avengers. That would be the coolest thing ever.
He wasn't a Savage Avenger. Yeah.
In the film.
Make the movie. Hell yeah.
Just do that. Hire Jason Momoa and say, sorry about that Rose Byrne thing or whatever it was. And you're Conan now. You were water Conan before, now you're dry Conan.
Yeah.
And here's Captain America's shield. Come with us.
Yeah.
Well, what did I
We'll even have Arnold hand you the sword that you move forward with.
while he's still living. They probably filmed that already.
God.
If someone was smart, they'd film that now.
Have him play Khan in King Conan. That's what we need right there. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dude. All right.
Well, Steve,
We'll be back.
Tell me John Milius has a script for King Conan already.
He's had that for a very long time.
How can they not get funding for that? It seems like the biggest no-brainer in the history of no-brainer.
Seems like a good idea.
I think because he's sick, isn't he?
Arnold?
No, John Milius.
Oh yeah, well Milius is not. Yeah, he had some kind of stroke and is not well.
Yeah, I mean he hasn't touched anything in a million years. But
but he has a screenplay somewhere, and you know what?
And Arnold would do it.
Arnold would do it in a heartbeat. Arnold's mad he hasn't done it already.
Batman, that son of a bitch.
I would watch a movie with him as Conan at his age now. I don't care.
Yeah, it's King Conan. It's all right there. Conan of Aquilonia, Conan and what's the last one? Conan the Conqueror, I think.
Is it?
He has to conquer Aquilonia first, and then Conan of Aquilonia is the last one, I think. That Robert E. Howard did. You know what? We need Mark Finn. Oh my God, we have a friend who's a Robert E. Howard scholar.
Oh.
Yeah, so
it's
our Conan episode.
Conan in chronological order is Barbarian, Sword, King Conan, Conqueror, and then Tales in Return, which I think are the more of the.
Those aren't Robert E. Howard ones, though, are they?
I think they're all Robert E. Howard.
Return of Conan is a Robert E. Howard thing.
I think so. Hold on.
Wait.
I don't know.
Wait, stand by.
Yep. We've got this is all I've been thinking. We've got the whole
does he have the book?
Yeah, I started reading the first one, so should be down there.
Oh. Hello.
I think I put it back.
Steve, what's the card set to your right? Yeah.
Marvel Universe trading cards. 1987.
Is that an uncut sheet or just a bunch of cards put together?
That is an uncut sheet of that.
It's the only thing uncut in his house.
Yeah, probably. That one was very expensive that I bought. That's X-Men, and then I have another X-Men. Oh, here you go.
All right, what's the official word?
Maybe I'm doing it in chronological order.
Yes. Oh, here we go.
All right.
Old man goes and you guys remember in the old days that you used to have these things called books, right?
No idea what you're talking about.
What are those?
Anyway, what do we got here? Conan of Samaria, Conan the Freebooter.
Do you have them in order? Hold on.
Yep, this is the order of the Robert E. Howard ones.
Oh, Conan the Avenger. I think that's what Marvel
That's why they did that. I wonder if he's an Avenger in the comics.
Conan of Samaria, Conan the Freebooter, Conan the Wanderer, Conan the Adventurer, Conan
Wait,
Conan.
I have to change mine.
Yeah, Conan the Freebooter, Conan the Wanderer, Conan the Adventurer, Conan the Warrior.
Ooh. Okay.
Conan the Usurper. Is that how? Yep. Conan the Conqueror. Conan the Avenger.
Yeah. Where's
Freebooter.
Buccaneer,
That's a term I
Aquilonian,
haven't
and
never
Isles,
heard.
man? I have 3 more.
Freebooter.
Hold on, let's see.
Freebooter is the 3rd one.
I don't have that listed in the Robert E. Howard.
Well, let me look. These might be extra.
Then there's okay.
L. Sprague de Camp and Lynn Carter. Yeah, there we go. You're right. These 3 are L. Sprague de Camps.
Okay.
I always considered them these 3 though, as part of the.
Well, hold on. Let's see the proper.
That was me as a teenager.
Proper Conan book order. Let's see. Okay.
Then there's this other book. This book's really cool. You guys have seen that?
I read that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Ironically, I don't have a copy of that. If you believe that,
You really?
I don't. No,
Dude, I only have four left. I'll mail this one to you right now.
You don't have to mail it. Just bring it to Ghostbusters.
Oh, right. When is that? The 21st?
Friday, I think.
Not
No,
tomorrow, but
Not
the
tomorrow, but the
next
next
Friday.
Thursday. Next Thursday.
Next
Jesus
Thursday,
Christ.
Thursday.
right, 21st.
Right.
Yes.
And I'm going to bring this for Mark. Hold on.
Excellent. I will do that. I will put a post-it note on that.
Thursday.
Hey!
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Look at that, dude.
I bought that at the Dune.
They had them already, huh?
That's the problem with these is they put them out so early that by the time the movie comes out, you're going to go there and they're going to have whatever. They're going to have the Deadpool head, you know?
Right, take another one from 3 movies from now.
Yeah.
They'll probably have the Larry Young Knuff head by then. The popcorn bucket that you can have sex with my face. Wait,
Is that Bob's Burgers? Is that the Louise?
Yes, this is the Louise helmet thing.
Nice.
It's kind of my comedy thing because I don't know, like 2 years ago when Walker was really into Bob's Burgers, we made some dumb bet and I lost. And the bet was I had to wear the Louise helmet for a day. Remember that, pal?
I don't, but sounds like something that I would bet.
Yeah, it was some dumb thing when we were trying to have fun when mommy was traveling. Anyway, so now I'm like, oh yeah, if I'm gonna be wearing this thing, I need my Louise hat. But I really need some goggles. I actually, speaking of Ghostbusters, I was gonna get the Ecto, goggles out of but I was like, man, that's just digging through too much stuff for a joke. The garage has really been sort of readjusted with all the making the cabin and stuff. So all that made me all dressing like this made me do is, Walker, we need another mannequin because I'm gonna display my Ghostbuster shit. We have. So why don't we ask this to Dork Court right now? You guys and the guys in the comments.
Yeah, people versus Larry Young.
Should I take down my Ant-Man mannequin? Because honestly, the only cool thing is the helmet. And because, okay, look at Walker's face though, because he doesn't care about the astronauts, or respect the thematic thing of astronauts downstairs. Where I'm saying, like, this Ant-Man thing is like, Ant-Man's so awesome that he gets to hang out with the astronauts. Walker's like, when you die, I'm selling all this bullshit, but I'm keeping the Ant-Man. And so maybe, do you think it's time that I compress this Ant-Man into a nice little thing for you, and you can have that Ant-Man thing, do what you want with it? Or does I just need another mannequin?
The court recognizes Steve Ukraine.
So my thought with Ant-Man is
The court of dorks.
Ant-Man, you could just display the helmet.
Yeah.
And I think just displaying the helmet for Ant-Man is awesome. Whereas Ghostbusters is more of a lot more visuals to it.
Yeah.
So I would display the Ghostbuster stuff with all of its extra, peripherals.
Accoutrement.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Well,
we have an entire bucket that's just Ghostbuster stuff.
Right.
Because we also have the Civil War Ant-Man helmet. So
Yeah,
then we would have
store bought. This one, Joe
Yeah,
Brown painted, man. That's
I
the
also
real deal.
don't like that design.
Yeah.
Interesting. A Paul Rudd character being replaced by a potential Paul Rudd character.
Yeah, very true.
I think all I'm hearing is we should buy another mannequin, right? Or what? How about this?
Well, don't tell Mimi I said that.
What? No. I'm out bold while she's in Baltimore.
I can do what I want.
Hey, you got like we got like 5 hours to do this.
What about
Before she gets on
the
Coco
mannequin that has all your first night stuff on? Do you want that displayed all the time? Everybody thinks it's weird, you know.
Well, that's a way of sugarcoating it.
I'm just giving him a hard time
it's
because
weird.
his friends do not understand like
How fucking cool that is.
how fucking cool it is. And so I was just kind of giving him a hard time.
I had
Here we go.
the coat that Anthony Mackie wore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Buy another mannequin. Wait. So what? Buy another coat that Anthony Mackie wore?
No, I'm saying that my friends don't understand how cool it is that from the night before the movie that I watch every Christmas Eve, I have the suit from it.
Right. Sweater and pants.
So
yeah.
And a certificate of
Mark's
authenticity.
like, I don't even know what movie you're talking about.
I know.
You ever seen
Seth
that?
Rogen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Michael
that movie.
Sheen plays a drugged out archangel.
Yeah.
That movie's
That's
bananas good. And Lizzie Kaplan's in it. Like, come on. The only way to make that more of a Larry movie is to set it on Mars.
Yeah. The scene with Seth Rogen super high at dinner getting dick pics is probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh my god. I don't know.
It's an impressive hug. I don't know.
Seth Rogen at the church.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
That's pretty great too.
I start not
We
being
didn't
able.
do that. We did not do that.
I like he's talking to the nativity scene in the manger and all that.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
David,
my
how you
friend
doing?
Spencer.
Gentlemen, I apologize. I have a hard stop. I have to go grab.
Oh, yeah.
children.
All right, let's call it. Thanks for.
All right, guys.
I'm not trying to end the
No.
conversation.
We
about
got homework to do anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Sorry for
Thank you,
showing up late.
Steve and
I
Mark.
was on a
and-
call with my boss and I just lost track of time.
all good. Thank you for the participants that in the chat.
Yeah.
Big part of what we talk about. So thank you for that.
Yeah, Chuck, feel better. And Chris, thanks for being so generous, man. And Hector Gonzalez, thank you for this bit. We're gonna remember that, right, pal?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just
Wait.
look at the nozzle after every print, which we haven't been
The
doing.
nozzle.
Right? I've been
Also,
looking
guys,
at my
yes.
nozzle
All right, guys. Pleasure.
at that point. Thanks, Mark.
Later, guys.
Goodbye.